Welcome to today's Facebook live video. Glad that you could all be here and join me for today's live video. So today we are talking about all things autumn and fall. I know it has been so hot here in Southern Utah. We are still at 100 degrees and I am just done with summer. So I'm excited to welcome September. And just talk about fall family traditions and things that are going on in the Scott household. We'll be sharing a few fall recipes. I had a bunch of questions come in about skincare routine. So I'll be sharing some of my favorite products with that. Of course, life updates. Those are things that people are always curious about, how the kids are doing, all the things. So anyway, as you are hopping on here, be sure to say where you were from. It's always so fun to make those connections. And I did have a question in the DMs come in about why I always greet everybody every time I film one of these videos. And it just gives everybody time to hop on here and join so that nobody misses things as we are all just jumping on here at different times. So anyway, welcome. If you were just tuning in, Lily Chamberlain, it's good to see you. And Tammy is from Woods Cross, Utah. I know where Woods Cross is. Lori is from Tennessee. Welcome. And Melissa is just joining us as well. So I'm really excited to be talking about all things fall right now, you guys. It has been just so hot, like I said, here in Southern Utah, and I am just ready for cooler weather, for sweater season. I'm excited to be making fall recipes with my family. We kicked off the fall season in our home, one of our favorite family traditions, by watching Dan in Real Life. Have you guys ever seen that movie? It has Steve Carell in it and Juliet, I forget her last name. I think she's French. Anyway, it's such a good movie. Landon and I watch it every single September fall season. So we started watching that movie last night, and I'm just excited to be making soups for my family, all things, you know, like desserts like apples and caramel and all of those fun things. So I am just looking forward to this new season in our brand new space and home. Laura, it's good to see you. And you guys, I left the door open the other day because I had burned something in the oven. So now I have like all of these flies inside my house right now. So it's super annoying. So if you see me like swatting flies, that's what I am up to and doing. So let's just get started with some of the questions that have come in. Diana Shelty Rock asks, what are some autumn traditions you hold, and do you have a favorite fall soup recipe that you like to make in the fall? Some of our autumn traditions that we do, we really like going to a local pumpkin patch, picking out our own pumpkins. I like decorating my home with fresh things from the grocery store that remind me of fall. So I like things that are just natural and like wood tone stuff. I really like decorating with pumpkins. So I'm really excited to pick those out with my kids this year. I like listening to fall music and playing that in my home. Like I mentioned before, we really like watching Dan in Real Life. I like attending football games. I will be attending a football game this evening of Chad's son, the guy that I'm dating. So we're gonna go support him up in Beaver, Utah today to go watch that game. And then I love soccer season. We are a soccer family here at the Scott household, and Landon has just been diving in to sports and soccer. And so we'll be attending a lot of those sports games right now. And I just love that sense of community where we gather together again in our local communities to cheer and champion our kids. So anyway, those are kind of some of the fall things that we like doing. As far as a favorite like soup recipe, I make a really good white chicken chili recipe and you add fresh spinach to it. I actually won like a cook-off in like a soup contest with this recipe. So I'll have to dig through my recipe book and see if I can find that. And I'm happy to share that with you guys. It's a really good. I also make a really good like minestrone soup, and I like serving it in something that little grandma gave me. I think it's called, what is it called? It's like a thing that you put soup in that has like a ladle. And you can find them oftentimes at thrift stores for really cheap. I forget what it's called. Like, it's not like the word turret, but it's like something like that. If you can think of it, you can leave it in the comment below. I can't think of the word right off the bat. Okay, Jennifer Yoder asked, do the Quints get to see each other at recess? Yes, and I went to go visit the Quintuplets on their first day of school. A tureen, Cheryl says. Yes, that's the word, a tureen. I have a couple of those and they're really pretty, and just the presentation and serving soup in those just takes everything up a notch. And for some reason, my family thinks that it just tastes better. So I really like making soups and serving them in tureens. So yeah, the kids do like playing together at recess. 2 of the kids are in the same class, as you guys probably know. Violet and Lincoln, we paired together in the same class and they're doing really well. Daisy has her own class. Logan has his own class. Who am I missing? And Lily has her own class. So it's really fun. And it's fun to see the kids branch out from each other as quintuplets and learn to play with other kids at recess. So they've been doing really good with that. And having a good time. We are just sinking into a routine in our new home. I had a ton of questions come in as to why I've moved so frequently and why I picked a smaller home with quintuplets. So I'll be answering that here in just a little while. Carolyn asks, how do you get your teeth so white? Carolyn, I switched to a new toothpaste and I am on a budget right now. So I have switched to a lot of Walmart brand of stuff. And I started using this extra whitening toothpaste for sensitive teeth. So it's kind of like a knockoff of Sensodyne. So I've been using that every day and every night, and it is helping to lighten and brighten my teeth. I do love drinking soda just about every single day. And so this really helps with keeping my teeth white. Vanessa asked about my skin routine. She says, your skin is always glowing. That's really kind. Honestly, August, I feel like my face is breaking out like crazy. So I typically use a Vino face wash, and then I really like an acne scrub. I get just like really bad acne in late August with the heat, with the humidity, and then we're just out late playing with my family a little bit later, so I'm getting a little bit less sleep. So those are things that I use as far as like face wash. And then I really like, I've talked about this product before, Sudden Change Green Tea Face Mask. You can get a 2-pack on Amazon for less than $10. I swear by this stuff. It tightens my pores, and this is not sponsored. It tightens my pores. It clears up acne. And I just feel like fresh. I don't know what it is. I've tried lots of different face masks, and my sister got me hooked on this one. It's really inexpensive. It works great, and like a bottle will last me several months. So I do this about once a week. I haven't been doing it as recently, and I can tell a difference in my skin. So if anybody is interested in that, that really works great. And then I also started using this Tula Skincare Protect and Glow. It has built-in sunscreen, and I really like this product. So I apply this under my makeup. I also really like using Tarte BB cream. It doesn't feel as cakey as other makeups. And then I also like, I've talked about this product before, Boing Bride On Concealer from Benefit. And this is in the color Lychee, and I just dot that like under my eyes, and it helps just like wake up my eyes first thing in the morning. And a little goes a long way. I like getting my money's worth when it comes to makeup products. So hopefully that answers your question. Honor asks, what do you do for self-care? These days, eat double stuffed Oreos and probably take a nap. So as far as self-care, I have my children 7 days on and 7 days off. Dad and I share our parent time. Oh, these flies are terrible today. And so I typically do a little bit more self-care when I don't have the kids and I'm able to take those breaks. But back when I had Shayden and Landon, before the quintuplets came, I found, and I'm still wired this way, that I need about 20 to 30 minutes every single day to just do something that's relaxing to me. So whether that's kicking my feet up and just skimming through Pinterest, or reading a good book. I do miss reading good books. I'll be starting to read a new book about probably blended families here in the next while. So anyway, those are just some things that I do for self-care. I like watching a good movie or listening to good therapeutic music. Becky Lynn 74TU asks, if you could go anywhere and it was absolutely free, where would you go? I would love to go to the South and explore like North Carolina, South Carolina. I'd love to go to Sweden, to France. If it was like an all expense paid trip, I've always wanted to travel. So that would probably be where I would pick if I could go anywhere. Betsy Smith 65 asks, how is your new ward and do you know the people in it? So what she's referencing is, in my church congregation, I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the way it's divided up, they call it wards. And so it's almost just like a zone for people that live close together so they can gather in the same church building and congregation. There was a couple that I knew briefly that I actually met on my very first date when I went out with Chad. And so we made that connection. They have cousins that are quintuplets in Texas. And I actually showed them on a vlog way back when, the Wilkinson quintuplets. I think those kids are probably, I don't know how old they are, maybe almost 16 now. Amazing family. So she is cousins with the quintuplet family, the Wilkinsons. And so we made that connection. We met up at a park. She introduced herself later, like a couple weeks ago when I was at church with Chad. And that was really fun to make that connection. Is there anybody else that I know in this church congregation community? No, not yet. So I'm really excited to get to know more people. And it was really funny because I took the quintuplets to church for the first time. And it was a little bit noisy sitting in the background of our congregation. And Lily looked at me and she was like, Mom, there are so many babies here. So my kids really love other children and my girls just love babies. So the whole time during sacrament meeting, my kids just played with other little kids and babies. And it was just really nice to feel like we just fit right in with other families that are just like ours. Not necessarily with quintuplets, but that have little kids too. So that's been really fun. Let's see, the next question that came in, this is from a gal that said, I'll be moving to St. George in November. What is your favorite restaurant there and what is your favorite store? Hands down, my favorite store here, and I've been to a lot of these stores, is Home Goods and TJ Maxx. Like the turnover is great. And so what I mean by that is like they have a lot of new items that come in like every single day. So the store is just really clean, organized, tidy. The shelves are well stocked, and they also sell furniture discounted, and they also have really good clearance. And so I really love shopping there. I have been to lots and lots of different TJ Maxx's and Home Goods, all the way from Washington State, all the way down to Arizona and California. I love shopping that store. I also love shopping online at that store. As far as my favorite restaurants in town, the very first Cafe Rio originated in St. George, Utah. So that is like a classic for Southern Utah. And then Swig originated in Southern Utah as well. So I really love getting a good soda at Swig. I really like Dirty Dr. Pepper. It is like a Dr. Pepper, a diet Dr. Pepper with coconut and lime and Dr. Pepper, and it is just so good. As far as my favorite restaurant, I really like Cliffside Dining. They have really good food. You get an entire view of Southern Utah. I think my second favorite place is called Xtavia, and it's all the way out in Cayente or Cayenta. I'm not quite sure how you say that, in Ivins, and it is just beautiful scenery. It feels like I'm running away to like the outskirts of town, but it's only like a 15-minute drive from my house. The food's really good, and they have a lot of nut-free desserts that I can eat there. So those are just a couple places that I really like here in Southern Utah. Mary Lou, it's good to see you. She's just tuning in from Texas. And Thomas, it is good to see you here as well. Okay, Say Yum asks, are you happy right now in this season of life? I would say I'm very happy, but I'm also very tired, very tired. This new season and chapter of life, having one son in his second year of college, another son in his freshman year of high school, and then having 6-year-old quintuplets, it is busy. So I find I'm staying up later to have that extra time with my older son and making those important connections with him. And teenagers tend to open up late at night. I don't know what it is, but like the magic hour is like 10 o'clock, 10:30 when you really want to wind down, but they want to open up. So I find that I have to have like business hours and be available to my kids for great conversation. And just taking those small moments, for each of my kids one-on-one is super important. As far as the quintuplets, It is a very busy season of life. The kids are becoming more opinionated. They have their own unique personalities that make them just different and set apart from everybody else. And they have become just like many little young men, young women. Like they just are so bright and so curious, and they want to know so much that sometimes just the amount of questions the moment they get off, out of school, and they want to know so much, sometimes that's really tiring. So I would say it's busy and I'm tired. You just moved to your house. Somebody just said yes. So I can answer that now. So people have mentioned, why have you moved so many times? So I had to sell the marital home because Dad and I each needed money for a new space. Oh my gosh, these flies are going to be the death of me today. And then I moved into a house. I was really excited about it. I thought I could make it work, but my overhead was just too high. So I did have questions come in about the laundry room. Are you upset that you would put all that time and energy into creating a beautiful laundry room and then had to move right after? Yes, I loved that laundry room. It was beautiful. It had a double washer and dryer. And so doing laundry was just a breeze and a lot quicker to get done. This new space that we're in, I found I really, really love. It is a townhome. We are renting. I like that it's light, it's bright, it's cheery. It has a great floor plan and layout. The laundry room is tiny, and the washing machine takes me double the time to get the laundry done. So that is one downside of renting this space, but I'm really grateful to have found this space, and it's lowered my overhead tremendously. So the kids and I are adjusting, getting the hang of our new place. And I especially am just loving how light, bright, and cheery this is. And I really love, oh my gosh, these flies. I feel like, what was that show, Honey Boo Boo, where she keeps like swatting the flies when they interview her when she's like outside, and then like the railroad, tracks are like right in the background and you can hear the train. So anyway, if I'm swatting flies, that's what's going on over here at my house. Monkey Gen 13 asks, have Logan and Daisy lost any teeth? Daisy did mention that her tooth was kind of bothering her and sore. And so maybe she will be the next kid to lose a tooth. I'm not sure. Toby Jacobson 1 asks, are you and your boyfriend getting serious? We are talking about serious things as far as decision making and moving forward, if that answers your question. Ruby asks, would you ever remarry? My answer is yes. Part of that would require blending families, and so that is something that I am unfamiliar with. So if any of you gals have comments and advice, tips about blended families, if you have remarried, that would be great. As I read through the comments, I learned so much from you gals who've walked this path before. Let's see. Beth Van Dusen asked, does your boyfriend have any kids? What ages? Does he have joint custody? And have your kids met? He does have kids. He has 3 kids, a 21-year-old. She is a gem. She came over and babysat my kids so I could get together with a couple of girlfriends. She is really fun. My kids really loved her. She is in college, so she's just a really good human being. So I think she's 21, and then he has a 16-year-old daughter that is in high school and is just really bright. And then he also has, I think he's almost 14, a 14-year-old son. So he has a son that's Landon's age. So if it all works out, it would work out really great for Landon because he would have a buddy. Let's see, he does have 50-50 custody. And so he and his ex-wife co-parent really, really well, which is something that I really admire about the both of them and how respectful they are of each other. So we'll be attending a football game of his son today. We'll probably be sitting next to his family. Have your kids met? Yes, my kids have gone swimming where Chad lives, and a couple of his kids came over, met my kids, and they're wonderful with little kids. So that's worked out really well so far. Savina asks, are you and your partner moving in together? No. So for me, I'm a really old-fashioned girl, and he's old-fashioned too. And so if we decide to get married, like down the road, that would be something where after we're married, then we would live together. Okay, lots of good questions, you guys, that came in. Judy asked, did you get umbilical hernia repairs after the quintuplets? How was it? How was recovery? And I need to get mine done too. So I have been asked this question a lot. I have had multiple surgeries since having the quintuplets. It was really hard on my body. I have had a hysterectomy, bowel repair, bladder repair. I also have had an abdoplasty to stitch everything back up because I just didn't have that core strength like I did before. And then I did have 5 hernias, one of which was in my belly button area, and I have had that fixed twice now. I had a hernia in my belly button since I was like little, and so I had that fixed right before I got married, and then the second time was after the quintuplets. Recovery on that, it wasn't as bad as like bladder repair, bowel repair, and the hysterectomy. That one was like a 3-in-1 surgery. That was really intense with recovery. I think the hardest part about the abdoplasty was having the drains that they put in right underneath your skin. And so just having those like coiled up and then having like 18-month-old little babies just want to like sit on my lap all the time. That part in recovery was really painful. And I underestimated that I would be hunched over as that skin was tightening and to be back upright again. So Junie, if you are having that surgery, I would just recommend getting a really good doctor. If you were local to the Southern Utah area, I had Dr. Klomp. He was really, really good, and he's a perfectionist. And so I can now carry 2 kids at the same time without falling over and push a grocery cart with so much more ease than I did before. Elizabeth asks, how is the girls' room? So today, actually not today, tomorrow I'm going to be building a triple bunk bed for the quintuplet girls. I considered like a loft bunk bed with like 2 twin beds underneath it. But my kids really need the play space. And so ultimately, as much as I hate bunk beds, I decided on the triple bunk bed. So we will see honest feedback in an upcoming vlog how that's going. But I feel like the kids will just have more play space. And honestly, my kids were like jumping from bed to bed to bed like a trampoline the other day. And I was like, that's it. I'm ordering the triple bunk bed. So hopefully it is easy for the kids to make their beds, and hopefully it doesn't take too long to build. So that will be in my up and coming vlog. I'll be putting that together alongside my boyfriend, Chad, who's really sweet. Debbie asks, are you upset about the work you put into the laundry room in your old house? So we just covered that one. Rachel asks, why did you downsize to a smaller house with 5 kids? And we covered that one as well. So hopefully I've answered a few of the questions that have come in. There were a bunch more that came in. But this was as quick as I could write down notes. So if you guys have questions, I am happy to take the questions. Anything that's on your mind, questions that you might have about the kids. Chad McWilliams says, I have to build what? So Chad, you're coming over tomorrow. You already agreed to this, and you're going to help me build those triple bunk beds. So hopefully with the 2 of us together, it's not going to take that long. Sharon Black is just joining us. Sharon, good to see you. And Robinaya is from Australia. We sure do love our gals from Australia. Patricia Mann is just joining us as well. Hi, Patricia. So what are some of your fall traditions, things that you like to do with your family, with your grandkids? These give me ideas for vlogs and fun things that I can go and do with my kids. Amy is joining us from Oregon, and Fiona has just hopped on here as well. Good to see you. Michelle, love you from Springfield, Missouri. Michelle, it's good to see you as well. Stephanie Cash is just tuned in and is joining us. And Stephanie Browning is from Anaheim, California. And Mindy is joining us from New Zealand. Diana Story, it's good to see you as well. So yeah, we are just getting into the fall season over here, and I'm loving this new home. I'm not loving the drive to my kids' school every day. Somebody just talked about Thanksgiving. So if you are joining us from Canada, I know you guys celebrate Thanksgiving a little bit different than we do here in the States. But Thanksgiving is really fun tradition. I'm trying to think if I will have the kids this Thanksgiving. I know I have the kids for Christmas, so I almost want to say Skylar, their dad is going to have them for Thanksgiving. So some things we have to get ahead of time and celebrate with my family when I have the kids. Ophelia is joining us as well. It's good to see you. I'm in England and I'm not ready for autumn. I have loved the summer this season with my kids, and we have played hard, but honestly, I'm just ready for cooler weather. Somebody just commented about pumpkin patches. I love it. And they had one in Little Valley last year that some people we're stopping at, and I was like, we have got to stop there. So the kids and I had a good time, but we need to make sure that the kids are not wearing clogs, because walking into the pumpkin patch, there were what my kids call like a lot of pokies. So like a lot of just like thorns that got stuck in their shoes. So if my kids have little boots, they'll be wearing those this year. Bernadette says she is ready for fall. I feel ya. Let's see, Leslie is joining us as well. It's good to see you. And Dory loves Vivian Lincoln. They are really sweet kids. They're growing up so fast. Let's see, Stephanie Browning is joining us as well. Halloween party is great. Diving for apples. Gardner Village and Salt Lake Valley is a blast. I forget, I did a vlog where we went to a petting zoo, and that was so much fun. And in the vlog, I think Lily was kissed by a llama, and it like really surprised her. That was really fun. We should drive up there and do that again. It's really fun. Which kids are in the same class together? And can't wait to see your house. I should give you guys another tour. Violet and Lincoln are in the same class this year, and it's going really well. When Lincoln feels overwhelmed, since he's kind of one of the younger ones of the Quints, Violet's really patient with helping him. Carol Peterson, it's good to see you. She's just joining us. Heading into spring in Australia, we are trading warmth and love watching your live videos. Karen, thank you for watching. Barbara, it's good to see you on here as well. Dixie is from California, and Sharon says 5 cute pumpkins walking in a pumpkin patch. They are cute little kids, and they get so excited. They always try and pick like the biggest pumpkin that they can find that's like hard for them to carry. But I just love creating those family traditions with my family, and I'm so grateful that we get to film and catch it all on camera, and that we have a wonderful editor who does that for us, so that I can remember just growing up, you know, raising these kids. And it's just so fun. They're such a blessing and such a light and such a joy in my life. And I'm just grateful every single day that I get to raise these wonderful children that are just growing into incredible human beings. Maria, it's good to see you. Okay, if you guys have any questions, I am happy to take questions. Yvonne is joining us from Sydney, Australia, and Liz, it's good to see you on here as well. Bernadette, do they have a favorite costume that they want to be this year? They are already talking about what they want to be for Halloween. The movie Wednesday came out, and Violet really wants to be Wednesday, but she's kind of disappointed because she didn't think about that before cutting her hair into this cute little bob. So she has talked about being Wednesday for Halloween. Love Halloween. It's also my birthday. Fiona, I was supposed to be a Halloween baby, but I came a week early. So my birthday, I will be turning 40 this year, and I'm excited for 40. I just feel like I'm ready for that new season of life. So anyway, some of the other kids are already starting to brainstorm what they would like to be for Halloween. If you guys have suggestions, I always love what you guys come up with for Halloween. I did have an idea this year. We might do that for Halloween. The kids are going to be with their dad for actually Halloween night, but they will probably be with me for like their school Halloween party. So and then we always do like a Halloween party at Grandma Smith's house, Grandma and Grandpa Smith's house. So the kids will get to, dress up for that. Beautiful age, believe me, is what somebody said, 40. I'm excited for 40 and just a fresh start. Do they have a dress or a favorite book character at their school? Who would you want to be what? Do they have a dress? Okay, you're kind of along the same wavelength as me as far as thinking about Halloween costumes, because I love reading to my kids and I love books. Same here in Northwest England. I love that you guys are making those connections and talking to each other on here. It's so fun. And I'm just grateful. I feel like this is a really like safe space for women to express themselves and to make those connections. And I still just feel like women need women cheering each other on. Let's have a big 40th party. Who's coming? Chad, are you going to throw me a birthday party? Brenda, it's good to see you. She just joined on here as well. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to turn 40. 30s, I'm not gonna lie, the last few years of my 30s were a bit rough. So I'm just excited for being 40. I think it's gonna be great. 20s, sorry, my phone was dying a little bit. 20s, I was young, I had a lot more energy, but I still was learning who I was as a person. 30s, I was becoming more comfortable with myself. And then of course I got pregnant with the quintuplets, and that changed everything. So anyway, just 40, I'm excited. I suggested it at school. My 40th birthday was so liberating. I've been happier in my 40s than ever. I'm glad to hear that. I feel like I know who I am a lot more. I know what I want out of life. I know who I want by my side, and I just want to live life to the fullest in my 40s. So I hope it's just a really good year. You always cheer me up, Brandy says. Brandy, that's really nice of you to say. And then when you guys send me stuff, it's so funny to see what pops up on the screen. Somebody just said they just turned 60. So what are your words of wisdom for an almost 40-year-old since you are 60 now? What advice would you give your former self at 40? My next birthday is 60. I'm also turning 40 in December. Angel, happy early birthday to you. And Radka is just joining us as well. Okay, so I have some fun things coming up in these vlogs that I'm excited for. Bernadette says, treat yourself more. I agree with that. Sometimes as women, I feel like we are so busy loving and serving everyone else that we forget to take time out for ourselves with self-care or just relaxing or getting together with girlfriends. And I know I just did that recently, and it was so refreshing to see gals that I hadn't seen in 10 years and just catch up with life. Jamie, you and Skylar, wonderful co-parents. That's really kind. I feel like there's always room for improvement, and I have read a couple of co-parenting books. I'm learning along the way. I never thought I would be divorced and in this stage of life, but I think he and I are just embracing it. And one thing that I love about our 5 to Love platform is I just really learned over the years that there is always room for love, and love is expansive. And I think, you know, navigating relationships, I always get a lot of questions about dating, relationships, all of that. And, you know, I'm just happy for Skylar that he's finding somebody that he's compatible with, that he's happy with. And I feel the same way, besides these annoying flies. I feel the same way in my own personal life. I'm just grateful to have somebody by my side that gets me, that loves me just how I am, and truly loves my kids. So anyway, we will see where it goes from here, but we are talking about more serious things in our relationship, in moving forward. And that's both scary and exciting. So anyway, I'm just excited to see what happens next. Well, it has been fun getting to chat with you all today. I am going to get back at it. I've got some things that I need to get done while the kids are gone. Somebody's going to Salt Lake to meet Matt and Savannah Shaw. They are wonderful. They have reached out to us a couple of times, and I really love that father-daughter relationship that they have, and they're very talented. So if you're not following them, Matt and Savannah Shaw, they're extremely talented, and it is just fun to listen to them. So anyway, I love each one of you. Thank you for your continued support and love of our family, and for loving us here on 5 to Love. Hope you all have a wonderful next part of your day, and I will catch you the next vlog. See ya.